Hello everyone, I'm Jens Janbi Salanap and today we're talking about a critical shift in education that's all about making sure students truly master the skills they need for the real world. By the way, I am advocating for the outcomes-based education. In OBE, the focus isn't just on covering content, but on making sure that students can demonstrate what they've learned. How do we know that they've learned it? Well, assessment plays a key role in showing us if the learning outcomes are truly achieved. Let's explore that this shift looks like and why it matters. In a traditional content-based system, the focus is on what the teacher covers in the classroom. Assessment often takes the form of tests that measure how much information students can recall. But in outcomes-based education, it's not about just memorizing facts. It's about measuring whether the students can apply their knowledge. The assessment is where we really see if students have achieved the learning outcomes. It's designed to show whether they can use what they've learned in practical ways. So why switch to outcomes-based education? Let's talk about these benefits for everyone. For students, this emphasis on outcomes-based assessment means they're not just tested on what they can remember for an exam, but on whether they can use their learning to solve real-world problems. This prepares them for life beyond classrooms. For teachers, OBE shifts the focus from delivering lectures to designing meaningful learning experiences. But most importantly, it empowers teachers to assess student progress in a way that directly measures if the learning outcomes have been met. And for the education system, OBE ensures that assessment tools, whether they're projects, presentations, or hands-on tasks, accurately reflect whether students have mastered the necessary skills. This gives a clear picture of how prepared students are after completing the course or the program. So I've been advocating about outcomes-based education. So how do we shift from a content-based system to outcomes-based education? It begins on focusing on assessments that measures what really matters. First, curriculum design. Instead of planning lessons based on what the teachers will cover, we design them around what students should achieve. Every lesson, every activity leads to an outcome that can be measured. Next, teacher training. Teachers are trained to design assessment tools, projects, real-world tasks, and performance-based activities that show if students have met the outcomes. The goal is to make assessments meaningful, not just a test of memory. Finally, student-centered learning means giving students opportunities to show what they've learned. Through collaborative projects, problem-solving tasks, and hands-on activities, students are assessed on their ability to apply what they know, not just repeat facts. In a traditional system, students are often assessed with standardized tests and only limited to that. But in outcomes-based education, assessment is designed to measure mastery outcomes. Students might complete a project, present their findings, or solve a real-world problem. These assessments show whether they can use what they've learned in a meaningful way. In OBE, assessment isn't just about checking off what's been taught. It's about ensuring students have truly achieved the outcomes. If the assessment shows they haven't reached the outcome yet, we adjust the teaching and learning process to get them there. So as a teacher, we are going to reflect based on the measures that we took from the assessments. Everyone has a role in making the OBE successful, and it all ties back to assessment. Here's how each group can help. For students, focus on achieving the outcomes. The assessment you'll face aren't about memorizing, they're about showing what you've mastered, the skills and knowledge, and of course, the learning outcomes expected from you by the end of the lesson or the activity. And for parents, they should support their children by encouraging them to apply what they learn in everyday life. Help them prepare for assessments that test real understanding and skills. For teachers, design assessments that measure whether students are meeting the outcomes. Use these assessments to adjust teaching and help students reach mastery. And remember, in OBE, assessments isn't just a one-time event. It's an ongoing process that helps everyone understand if the outcomes have been achieved. Outcomes-based education is the future. It ensures that every student reaches their fullest potential by measuring what matters, the learning outcomes. If you support a system where students are assessed on their ability to truly apply what they've learned, share this video, talk to your community about OBE, and let's work together to create an education system that's focused on real results. We all should advocate for outcomes-based education. And again, thank you very much for watching. I am Vians Jan B. Salanap. Together, we can make sure every student achieves their learning outcomes. And that is OBE. Thank you.